This 3,000-year-old headless skeleton and smiling mummy left scientists shocked. Hello everyone. Throughout the long history of humankind, we have been shocked many times by strange archaeological discoveries. Some artifacts inspire our admiration, some reveal secrets never known before, and some send chills down the spine of the whole world. Ancient skeletons, bound mummies, bodies frozen with a smile in death, all hint at a dark, painful, and mysterious chapter that history has deliberately buried. Now imagine this. You are walking down a deserted street at dawn and suddenly come across an unclaimed box quietly lying on the sidewalk. You might think it's just trash, right? But when you open it and find a lone skull, mouth wide open in a grin, staring back at you from the depths of the past, how would you react? Fear? Screaming? Running away? Sounds like a scene from a horror movie? But this is entirely true, and it's only a small part of a series of terrifying discoveries that have recently shaken the archaeological world. Here's the story. In Henan Province, China, an ancient land linked to glorious civilizations, a team of archaeologists from Henan University announced that they have unearthed a large pit deep underground containing hundreds of ancient skeletons. At first glance, you might think this is an old cemetery, but no. This was a sacrificial site where bloody rituals took place thousands of years ago. One skeleton among them stopped the entire team in their tracks. It's a skeleton dating back over 3,000 years, found in a strange position and without a head. So, what happened to this person? Who were they? And why were they buried like that? Evidence surrounding the site suggests this individual might have been a victim of a sacrificial ritual during the Shang dynasty, a dynasty famous not only for its remarkable cultural and military developments, but also for large-scale human sacrifices, a terrifying form of worship practiced by ancient people. According to inscriptions carefully carved on animal bones and turtle shells, known as oracle bone script, sacrificial rituals under the Shang dynasty were frequent and organized as an essential part of political and spiritual life. Archaeologists discovered up to 339 other skeletons, all found kneeling with hands bound, piled up inside a massive sacrificial pit. In fact, many documents indicate that about 13,000 people were killed as offerings to deities in the ancient capital Yin. The strange position of the headless skeleton, along with the dozens of bound kneeling bodies nearby, serves as a vivid reminder of an era when humans were willing to sacrifice their fellow beings in exchange for blessings from the gods. Did the gods truly accept these offerings? Or was it a crime justified by faith? That question remains unanswered. What's strange is that such chilling discoveries aren't limited to Asia. At the same time, on the other side of the hemisphere, South America, another body was found, and this time it was smiling in death. In the city of Trujillo, Peru, an archaeological center of many ancient South American civilizations, a seemingly simple event shocked experts. A street cleaner, Mr. Otilio Padilla Miramontes, while cleaning up early one morning, found a mysterious box discarded on the ground. Inside was a tightly wrapped body, limbs curled, and notably a skull with its mouth open as if laughing or screaming. That sight sent chills through anyone who saw it. At first, police suspected a modern murder. But when archaeologists examined it, they confirmed it was an ancient mummy dating back to around 1100 AD, belonging to the Chimu civilization, which existed before the Inca domination. What's even more mysterious is that this mummy was not discovered in an official excavation site, but was thrown out on the street. A police spokesperson said it's possible someone secretly stole the mummy from the Chanchan archaeological site for the purpose of collection or illegal trade. This not only violates archaeological ethics, but raises a big question. How many precious artifacts, mummies, and skeletons are being smuggled out like lifeless goods instead of being preserved as part of human history? Headless bodies, bound mummies, deadly smiles, they are not just physical traces of death, but witnesses to a strong belief in gods, the afterlife, and the punishment of invisible forces. Have you noticed? Despite thousands of years and vast cultural distances, from ancient China to distant South America, civilizations performed sacrificial rituals. Could it be that since the dawn of humanity, people shared the same fear? Fear of the unknown, fear of death, and fear of what comes after? Were they simply victims of their times? Or are they keepers of ancient ritual secrets that science has yet to decode? And if someday we find the real reasons behind these strange deaths, will the world still be the same? Don't take your eyes off the screen, because in the next part, I will take you to even scarier places. Mummies still fresh with blood, cursed cemeteries, and bodies that once moved in archaeological labs. Are you ready? If yes, let's uncover the secrets of the past, rising layer by layer from the earth, right now. The mummy of a medieval woman, over 6 feet 6 inches tall in Poland. In the world of archaeology, every skeleton discovered is not just a collection of cold, dry bones. It is a whisper from the past, a story buried through time waiting to be unraveled. One of the most peculiar and haunting stories comes from an ordinary grave in Poland, where archaeologists uncovered a woman who stood taller than 6 feet 6 inches. Sounds unbelievable, right? A medieval woman reaching such height, while the average European height at that time ranged between 4 feet 11 inches and 5 feet 3 inches. She possessed a stature taller even than many modern-day models. Yet behind this extraordinary physique lies the tragedy of a life filled with illness and pain, a struggle against a cruel disease, and the harsh fate of someone from the lower social class in a feudal society. This discovery is documented in the book New Advances in Bioarchaeology of Healthcare by Magda Maczak, a leading expert in archaeological medicine. According to the description, the skeleton was found in 1977 on Ostrów Lednicki Island, a famous archaeological site in Poland. However, it took decades and the application of advanced biological analysis for researchers to confirm that this woman suffered from acromegaly, a rare endocrine disorder caused by excessive secretion of growth hormone from the pituitary gland, leading to uncontrolled bone growth, especially in the skull and limbs. Her skull was recorded as one of the largest ever excavated in European archaeology, a clear evidence of abnormal bodily development. Unfortunately, alongside her remarkable height was severe spinal degeneration, damaged joints, and many signs that this woman endured injuries such as broken arms and legs, as well as pleurisy, a common and often fatal disease in the unsanitary and medical poor conditions of the Middle Ages. Can you imagine? A giant but fragile body silently fighting through constant pain in a world without painkillers, specialists, or anyone to share her suffering with. But the story doesn't end there. Her burial was also completely different from those around her. While all the skeletons in the same cemetery had their heads facing west, a religious norm of the time, this woman's body faced east. Her hands were bent rather than laid straight, a stark contrast to the standard medieval burial rituals. Why was this? Was she considered a freak by the community, or simply because she belonged to a low social class and was denied equal treatment even in death? Archaeologists lean toward the latter. No burial goods were found with her, a clear sign of her low social status at that time. In medieval society, nobles and middle-class individuals were buried with valuable items, from jewelry to weapons and religious symbols. In contrast, this woman was almost abandoned within her own grave. The skeleton of a girl, holding 2 woodpecker skulls in her mouth. While examining artifacts from old research projects at the University of Warsaw, Dr. Małgorzata Kot unexpectedly came across a skeleton with 2 woodpecker skulls in its mouth. What's remarkable is that this skeleton was not a new discovery. It had actually been found over half a century ago. Specifically, Professor Waldemar Chmielewski was the first to uncover the skeleton in Tunel Wielki Cave, located in southern Poland, between 1967 and 1968. However, he chose not to publish this finding at the time, causing the skeleton to seemingly fade into obscurity until Dr. Kot and her team at Warsaw resumed the investigation. Thanks to radiocarbon dating methods, researchers determined that the skeleton belonged to a young girl, around 10 to 12 years old at the time of death, dating from the mid-18th century to the early 19th century. The results also showed signs of malnutrition and stunted growth. Interestingly, aside from the girl's bones, there were no artifacts or evidence indicating the cause of her death. It is known that burying the dead in shallow graves inside caves is a burial practice dating back at least 4,000 years. However, Europe ceased this tradition during the Middle Ages. Thus, finding this girl in Tunel Wielki Cave is both highly unusual and extremely rare. In a report published in Prähistorische Zeitschrift on May 29 last year, archaeologists described this as an extraordinary and unique discovery in Europe, which only deepens the mystery surrounding the meaning of this burial. DNA testing later revealed that the girl may have been of Finnish or Karelian descent, Karelia being a region that today spans parts of Russia and Finland. From this, researchers speculate that she might have accompanied the Finnish troops during the Swedish King Carl Gustaf's invasion of Poland in the mid-17th century. Soldiers of the Swedish army, many of whom came from Finland and Karelia, often traveled with their families during military campaigns. Moreover, historical records show that the Karelians believed those who died in the forest should be buried right there, which could explain why the girl was buried deep inside a cave in the woods. However, experts still have no clear explanation as to why the girl was buried with woodpecker skulls in her mouth. It is known from Slavic mythology that woodpeckers or crows were often seen as the souls of the deceased, capable of bringing life or death to a body, with the departed spirit believed to live on in their former body. Many other legends also consider birds as souls of fallen people or beings that can bring about reincarnation. In several cultures, birds symbolize freedom, and a bird's skull represents the freedom of the soul in death. Could it be that the girl's relatives hoped that burying her with woodpecker skulls would help her revive? Or were they trying to free her spirit? These questions remain unanswered by researchers to this day. To me, however, this strange skeleton stands as a vivid testament to history and spirituality, opening fascinating questions about the connection between ancient people and the spirit world. What about you? What are your thoughts on this? The open-eyed mummy discovered in Egypt. Egyptian archaeologists recently made a significant discovery when they uncovered the mummy of a woman who lived about 2,300 years ago at the Bahariya Oasis, located in the Libyan desert. This area is approximately 186 miles southwest of Cairo, Egypt's capital, and is known for its wealth of ancient relics, especially tombs and mummies. During the excavation, the team of experts discovered a total of 14 tombs, with the woman's mummy found inside one of them. According to specialists, the mummy was placed in a plaster coffin about 3.3 feet long, intricately carved and featuring details of Roman-era clothing. The woman is believed to have lived during the Greco-Roman period, around 2,300 years ago, a time of great change in Egyptian history when Greek culture began to heavily influence the region. The coffin itself is finely decorated, shaped like a woman wearing Roman-style attire, including a long cloak, a headscarf, bracelets, a necklace, and shoes. Notably, 2 precious stones were placed in the eye sockets of the coffin, giving the eerie impression that the mummy's eyes were still open, an unusual detail in ancient Egyptian burial customs. Zahi Hawass, Secretary General of the Supreme Council of Antiquities in Egypt, suggested that the mummy belonged to a woman who was possibly petite or young. This adds to the mystery surrounding her life during the Greco-Roman era, a unique cultural blend of ancient Egyptian and Greek civilizations. In addition to the mummy, the archaeologists uncovered many valuable artifacts, including coins, glass vessels, ceramics, masks, and a gold piece depicting the 4 sons of Horus, a significant deity in ancient Egyptian belief. The ancient Egyptians believed that these 4 sons guarded important organs of the mummy's body, such as the liver, lungs, stomach, and intestines. It's worth noting that the Bahariya Oasis is not the first place in Egypt where mummies have been found. In 1996, archaeologists discovered 17 tombs containing 254 mummies in the same region, confirming it as a major burial site in ancient Egyptian history. This discovery also evokes the Greco-Roman period in Egypt, which began with Alexander the Great's conquest in 332 BCE. Although Alexander was the king of Macedonia, his years of rule in Egypt are often considered a Greek reign for 2 reasons. First, Macedonians were essentially part of the Greek ethnicity, with 90% of their language's vocabulary derived from Greek. Second, most of the officials governing Egypt were Greek, and the country was heavily influenced by Greek culture during Alexander's time. After Alexander's death in 323 BCE, his empire quickly collapsed, and Egypt returned to native Egyptian rule. Therefore, if I say this new mummy discovery is a vivid testament to the cultural and religious exchanges between civilizations, as well as helping us better understand the life of Egyptians during a crucial historical era, it wouldn't be an exaggeration, would it? A 4,500-year-old skeleton resting inside a pot. In February 2021, during a survey for a new road tunnel construction site in England, the Wessex Archaeology Company uncovered 2 ancient graves containing human skeletons along with many valuable artifacts. What makes this discovery especially remarkable is that the tunnel project passes through land right next to Stonehenge, the famous 5,000-year-old stone circle in England. Archaeologists believe that these 2 newly found skeletons could help shed some light on the long-standing mysteries surrounding Stonehenge. The 2 ancient graves, dated to be about 4,500 years old, are thought to belong to an adult and a child. This means that these individuals lived roughly 500 years after Stonehenge was built. The fact that they were buried so close to the Stonehenge circle suggests this location held particular significance in the beliefs and culture of the ancient people. According to the Daily Mail, the first grave contains the skeleton of an adult buried with numerous valuable grave goods, including pottery, flint tools, red deer antlers, a small bowl, a copper awl, and an unusual piece of slate placed atop an object resembling a staff. The second grave belonged to the child, whose incomplete skeleton was buried inside a bronze pot. Although this burial seems simple, it holds important archaeological value, potentially revealing insights into the lifestyle and burial practices of the ancient community. Archaeologists often suggest that differences in burial methods may reflect diverse customs and beliefs among social classes of that time. Further south of the excavation site, experts also found several unusual C-shaped ditches. While their purpose remains unclear, these ditches resemble strange trenches filled with flintstones, sparking curiosity about their role in the culture and spiritual life of the ancient people. As you can see, the road tunnel project not only benefits modern transportation by redirecting traffic underground, but also provides an opportunity to protect the Stonehenge monument from the impact of highways. I believe discoveries like this will undoubtedly enrich England's archaeological heritage and open new doors to exploring the unresolved mysteries of Stonehenge and the ancient civilizations of this land. 1,000 skeletons packed together in a mass grave. In March 2024, a surprising archaeological discovery near the city of Nuremberg in southern Germany sent shockwaves through both the scientific community and the public. Archaeologists unearthed a massive mass grave containing up to 1,000 victims of the plague, one of the deadliest pandemics in human history. The excavations, conducted in an area slated for construction, revealed 8 large pits, each holding hundreds of skeletons of adults, children, and infants, dating from the late 15th century to the early 17th century. This discovery is not only historically significant, but also provides profound insights into life and death during Europe's Dark Ages. The plague claimed millions of lives, and Nuremberg was no exception. The city endured a series of severe plague outbreaks from 1533 to 1634, during which approximately 30,000 residents lost their lives. In an effort to prevent the disease from spreading further, city authorities ordered the bodies to be buried in mass graves outside church grounds, creating vast cemeteries filled with innocent victims. What makes this find even more remarkable is that archaeologists uncovered not only the human remains, but also fragments of pottery and coins with clear dates. Specifically, pottery found in 2 of the 3 fully excavated pits aligns with the plague outbreaks around 1622 to 1634, while coins date back to 1619. These artifacts clearly link the burial sites to the plague epidemics that ravaged Nuremberg, providing a realistic glimpse into the hardships endured by its people during that time. Melanie Langbein, a heritage conservation expert in Nuremberg, emphasized the importance of the discovery, saying, "A find like this has never happened before, and no one expected it. This site holds tremendous significance for the city of Nuremberg." This reflects a way of honoring and remembering historical tragedies, helping us better understand the social development during difficult eras. Currently, the excavations are ongoing, and archaeologists estimate the number of victims could exceed 1,500. If confirmed, this could be the largest mass grave ever excavated in Europe. From a smiling mummy discarded on the streets of Peru to a headless skeleton lying alone in a sacrificial pit in China, these are chilling fragments of history that humanity is only just beginning to uncover. Though buried for millennia, these remains seem to whisper to us of pain, of belief, or perhaps a warning from the shadows of the past. You see, archaeology is not just about numbers, dates, or ancient pottery. It is also about unanswered questions. Why do people smile in death? Is it from pain, fear, or an ancient ritual that forced that smile to endure for thousands of years? And why, across different civilizations, half a world apart, do humans share similar obsessions with death, sacrifice, and life after death? We keep digging, analyzing, and asking questions, but perhaps many of these mysteries will never be solved. If this sends a chill down your spine, imagine the feelings of those who discovered these remains. And if it sparks your curiosity, congratulations! You are delving deeper into the mysterious world of archaeology. What do you think about what I've just said? Don't hesitate to leave a comment below. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so we can continue exploring more chilling secrets from beneath the earth together. For now, goodbye and see you next time.